And do you think that it was a stolen election in 20?
No doubt in my mind. I watched it myself with my own eyes at 3 o'clock in the morning on TV.
What'd you see?
I saw all the ladies in Georgia pull all those ballots out, and I watched her run the same ones over and over. And I watched it with my own eyes. I don't need anyone to tell me it was stolen. I watched it.
The government and the state government in Georgia said that was totally innocent, and that was
they did.
Well, it's a Republican government there, so I'm just curious.
It's a Republican government.
Trump won't lose.
Well, he lost once. He could lose again. What if it happens again?
I think it's impossible for him to lose again. He can't rig another election like they did the last one. Public won't stand it.
Is this how I sound when I say that I enjoyed the last season of Game of Thrones? Do I seem like I'm just trying to cope by pretending everything worked out the way that I wanted? Because this just sounds pathetic. Like, it is just taken as a given that every Republican is going to say, no, Trump couldn't. I mean, how could he possibly lose? I mean, he didn't lose in 2020, even though he did. He didn't get a majority of the votes in 2016. Like, let's bear in mind, while Donald Trump did occupy the White House for 4 years, he's never gotten a majority of the country to support him. And so to assume that he's their best bet in 2024, it is such a massive leap of illogic at that point.
If Trump were to run again and win, obviously you'd be happy. Would you accept that result?
Of course.
If he were to run again and lose, would you accept that result?
Yeah, I mean, we had to accept everything that happened, but not
you didn't.
Accept
but
it,
you didn't.
Accept it, but for sure, I'm telling you. I mean, the numbers, the registered voters, the 80% of people voted for Trump.
80%.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I hadn't heard that number anyway.
Like 80 million people voted for Trump.
So 80 million, but that's not.
You add the numbers, Biden is not the one that should be in the White House right now.
In these videos, I never care so much about the individual person expressing the thought. I care about the group that they represent. And what she represented to me with her body language of like so clearly being uncomfortable that she was being pressed about why she believes that the election was stolen. Like the argument that she'll make is largely irrelevant. It's what she's clearly experiencing. The emotion is, I don't like the idea that a person and a movement I supported lost, and I need something that's going to make me feel better about that. And maybe it's a conspiracy about the election being stolen. Maybe it's a belief that America became a corporation in 1880, and so technically Biden is the president of that, but Trump is actually the president, or whatever QAnon, whatever. They just don't want to feel uncomfortable. People don't like it when people they support lose. They don't like it when sports teams they support lose. They don't like when actors they like don't get the awards. When it's something that has been made so core to them, like a political leader, for some percentage of the country, it is unacceptable that they would have lost. And so they'll put a lot of effort into not having to actually grapple with that. And that's what I was getting off of that woman.
Are Trump and his supporters just sore losers?
No, we haven't lost.
So he'll be president for 2 more weeks?
No, he will be president till 2024.
Obviously Trump is saying that the election was stolen from him in here in Georgia. Doesn't trust the Republican election officials here. Does that cause a problem or an issue for trust in this week's Senate election?
Yes, I think it has for several people.
Yeah.
People have been demoralized and have actually told me that they do not want to vote because they feel like their vote isn't going to count.
And what do you say to people when they say?
I tell them, well, if the Democrats are going to steal the election, we're not going to. We're going to do the right thing and we're going to vote.
Will you accept Joe Biden as president?
No, he'll never be my president.
Okay, but you accept that he's going to be inaugurated?
No, I don't.
I mean, how could that change at this point?
Well, it could be a civil war. You never know.
You don't actually want a civil war, do you?
I don't. Show us the voting machines. Show us the ballots. Show us that this was a fair election, or we'll never accept another vote again, ever.
Crazy.
Don.
Crazy.
I mean, and cut to commercial.
Yeah, I've never felt closer to Don Lemon in that moment.
He saw us, John. Don Lemon saw us. It's television, so CNN knows exactly who to ask those questions to. We want to get one of a different type of every Trump's base to get the answer to this. But it's not surprising, John. It's not surprising. That's how they feel. They're entitled to how they feel. It's the emotional response that they have. I'll never accept it. It's like them. It's like they're going through the stages of death, right? Where they refuse to accept it, grief. There will come a time where they'll enter the fifth stage, in which will be acceptance. But it's not surprising.